There was an article, where was it Flaviar, that talked about Armagnac is Solange and Cognac is Beyonce.
Yeah.
And I can definitely see that. Each has their fan base. Each are great. But Beyonce is more widely known than Solange.
Yeah. And at this price point, and for as good as it is, as long as I can still get a bottle, it can stay that way. I just don't want it to disappear. Keep bringing this into your stores.
Yes, yeah. Armagnacs. Let's
do that.
Let's make that its own category. I feel like, you always see Cognac, you see brandy. Save some space for the Armagnac.
Save some space for them. Please do. Just put a couple of bottles up there. Oh yeah, that's going to dry down beautifully. I'm all ready.
Hi, and welcome to the Liquor Connoisseur. I'm Crystal.
I'm Roger.
Today we'll be reviewing Armagnac de Montal, VS. This brandy is a blend of 6 grape spirits produced in the Armagnac region of France. Similar to Cognac, Armagnac is a type of brandy that can only be produced in its region. Armagnac has been around since the 14th century, predating Cognac. The de Montal family has been producing Armagnac for over 275 years using high-quality grapes and meticulously selecting eau de vie for blending. The VS is the youngest age statement. It is distilled twice and aged for at least 2 years in oak barrels. So reading about this, it's like mezcal and tequila.
I could see that, yeah. And probably equally as popular. So tequila's a lot more popular, like Cognac's a lot more popular than Armagnac. Okay.
And I believe some of that is due to location. Over the years, Cognac has had better accessibility than Armagnac has.
Yeah, it's all about shipping. Having access.
It was fun trying to learn more about this bottle because Armagnac is an export of France. And it was hard trying to find the distillery information on it, but we were able to find some things, and you can check out and find more about how Armagnacs came about on our blog post on liquorconnoisseur.com. Anything special in the bottle?
You know what? This is one of the few bottles that we have in our collection. Kind of reminds you of a teardrop. Or a lot like a little Hershey's Kiss.
It does. It
really pretty neat.
Does.
Yeah. So I was like, this is a really cool looking bottle. It was catchy in the store because really not much looks like this. A nice wax stamp on here. It's really cool. And it's coming in at 40%. Apparently, many of these punch higher than that.
This is our first Armagnac.
Yeah. They're very tough to find, and I think they're very easily overlooked in the section.
I had never heard of Armagnac till a few years ago. I was in one of our local liquor stores and was asking about cognacs because we don't get a lot of variety here.
Correct.
And the person was telling me that they could order us an Armagnac. I never followed up, but we're going to learn today.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out because that was more local. And this we had to find out in the wild in Texas. So, yeah.
It's got a nice color.
Yeah, it does.
Of course, it's aged minimum 2 years in the oak barrel. Oh, you get those grapes.
Lots of fruit here.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's so sweet on the nose. Not any heat.
No. And they say it's supposed to have a lot more flavor than Cognac. And of course, Cognac is smoother and a little bit more pleasant on the palate, while this one has a lot more punch and flavor to it. I definitely get that on the nose.
And for Armagnac, it actually has its own still. They used to distill in, and they distill it twice.
Cool. You want to get started?
All right, here we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Lots of fruit. Ooh wee.
Very vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
This is really bright.
It gets you right back in here. In a good way.
Like orange and like grape, like just really pungent.
Yeah. So with Armagnac, they use three different types. They can use three different types of grapes, whereas Cognac uses one, and they both share. I can't remember the name of it. It starts with a U. So that's one of the variations that they have.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah, this is for my first Armagnac.
Quite pleased with this one.
Of course, if you like brandy, this is just a different type of brandy.
Yeah.
All to do with the region, because brandy can be made anywhere.
Yes.
As you saw with our Presidente review last year.
It can be made anywhere.
That was a Mexican brandy.
Yes.
Whereas, like Cognac, Armagnac is from the Armagnac region of France.
Correct. So this one still is a little bit more pricey than brandy. Mm-hmm. And because not everyone carries it, they're just going to have it at the 40, 45 or whatever price point. Yeah.
This is $40.
Yeah. And I think the next one up is around in the 90s, the VSOP, and then they also have a XO version of this as well, which I'd be happy to find either one of those.
We'll have to do some more research on Armagnacs and see if we can get some in. This is going to have a good dry down.
Oh, yeah. And if you're new to the channel, what we mean by that is after we've sipped this down, we'll just let it sit out a couple hours or so, just to the point where you don't really see any alcohol left. Let the alcohol burn off, and then you can come back and approach the glass. And those flavors, the notes, they really just kind of get enriched almost. Yeah. It's almost like reducing something over the stove if you're cooking, if you're a chef, or if you just cook in general, you know about reducing. Getting the water off, and then it just enhances the smell. In this case, is what you would get more grapes
and you can actually cook with this.
Yeah, yeah.
You can use it to get those bits off the bottom of the pan when you're searing a steak. Mm-hmm. I do know on the website they talk about you can sip it neat, you can put it on rocks, or you can mix it.
Yeah.
I may dabble in mixing this one a little bit.
Yeah.
Putting with something. Matching it with those fruity notes.
Oh, that's so good. That is.
So
wonderful.
How would you rate this Armagnac? Given this is our first one.
I'm going to have to start with the intermediate. I suspect that most people will walk right by this in the store. You're going to look for a cognac or a brandy. And if you see whatever this is, you're like, oh, I don't know. It's over there with them, but I don't know what Armin, however they pronounce it, and just move right on. A beginner's just probably not gonna go get it. And if you do pick it up as a beginner, it's very robust and rich, and you may take that as it's not as smooth, and it is not. It's not as smooth and pleasant on the palate as a cognac is, but it has a lot more flavor. Ooh-wee, a whole lot more flavor. And I think at the intermediate level, you'll start to appreciate what this offers.
When you read about cognacs, they talk about connoisseurs loving Armagnacs. Mm-hmm. And I can definitely see that it's the older sibling.
Yeah.
If you have to step your way up and starting with a brandy, going to a cognac, then to an Armagnac, I can see that progression.
Yeah.
But I agree with you with this being a VS, the youngest age statement. It's the intermediate level, something an intermediate person can learn more about, start that journey to becoming a connoisseur, and having those VSOP, XO, Armagnacs,
Mhm.
and being able to speak to what those are.
Yeah. Yeah, because I just imagine the richness and flavor increasing, and then whatever um, unpleasantry you would get making it less palatable would start to diminish the older you get, because it's being in the barrel just a little bit more. But yeah, that's
And also,
love it.
you know, as with age, your palate changes.
Mm.
So that's another reason why we talk about beginner, intermediate, and connoisseur, is because the different spirits you try over time, your profile changes, your flavor profile.
Yeah, I love everything this has to offer. It's my understanding that even in France, they get a lot more access to this stuff than we would, because they export most of their cognacs.
Yes.
So you run into that, and they kind of scoff at many of them. So
yeah, this one's actually made for export.
Yeah, this happens to be made for export. Yeah, but they drink a lot of this Armagnac over there.
You gonna say something for the cheers?
Oh yeah,
you were going to town over there.
The flavor is so good. I just keep wanting to go back to it, and yeah, you're right. I love brandies, cognacs, and Armagnacs, apparently.
Oh my.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you have it from the Liquor Connoisseur. This is an intermediate Armagnac. Let us know how you like to drink it. We're going to see if we can make a good mixed drink out of this to show you all another way to to enjoy this spirit. So again, thank you for joining us. We have just reviewed Armagnac de Montal. And as always, like, subscribe, and share. And on our website, check out the article we have on Armagnacs to find out more background information. Cheers.
Cheers.